The December 16th meeting of the Stillwater Planning Commission will now come to order. It will be the process this evening to call for items on the agenda. The commission will hear briefly from staff first, then the applicant and/or their representative, then open the public hearing and hear from those in favor and/or in opposition to the request. When you come to the podium, please clearly state your name and address for the record. Then before closing the public hearing, both staff, the applicant and/or their representative will be provided an opportunity to respond, to provide additional information, and answer questions. After all interested parties have spoken, the public hearing will be closed, and then we will hear closing remarks and alternatives from staff. First item on the agenda this evening is to receive public comment regarding a request for preliminary plat, and we shall hear from staff.
Good evening, Chair, Commissioners. My name is Henry Biebelheimer with Development Services. Tonight we're looking at a preliminary plat for the Canyons, Sections 8 and 9. This is located at 5502 North Perkins Road. So here's the aerial view, which shows the property outlined in pink. This property fits really well with the existing residential neighborhoods to the north and northwest because it was originally platted with those neighborhoods. So in 2005, there was a preliminary plat on this property that was approved. That was the Canyons. There were 9 sections. These are sections 8 and 9 that follow those original phase lines from the preliminary plat in 2005. So tonight, we are reviewing this preliminary plat for 2 reasons. One, the original preliminary plat has expired, requiring them to bring forth a new preliminary plat. The second reason was that this one is substantially different from the original. The original lines are similar, but the lot lines are very different. The zoning requirements for RSS, or small lot single family residential, has a minimum lot size of 5,000 square foot. The original lots proposed with phases 8 and 9 were very similar to that minimum. Those lot sizes have been increased for some of these lots substantially, decreasing those overall lots from 111 to 66, which is what we're looking at today. Yeah, so this is a street view from Perkins looking west. This is the zoning map where you can see the property on the west side of Perkins zoned RSS, or small lot single family residential. And here's the Canyons 8 and 9th. So the 8th section is, you can see that dotted line kind of cutting it down the middle. The 8th section is on the right side of that, or the east side along Perkins. That does also connect into that road that kind of comes south from what I believe was the Canyon Section 1. So that connects into their existing single family neighborhood. Then to the west, you have that Section 9. Some of the lots on the west side of that I'll point to are even, 1, 2, and 3 acre lots. So those are some of those larger lots that led to less lots. Wrong direction. I'm open to answer any questions if you have any.
Any questions for staff? Okay, thank you. I have a question.
Do the construction timelines align with available city services and infrastructure capacity?
When you say the timelines, you just mean like when those houses are constructed, you want to make sure we'll have the appropriate like sewer and water capacity?
Okay.
Trying to think if that's been, I don't know if we've looked at that. Yes, we have. I'll let the applicant come up and answer that. Sorry.
Okay. Anything else for staff?
There's 6 outlots. What are those for? Who's responsible?
So there will be, it's required to have an HOA established to have maintenance for those outlots. I'll let the applicant come up to say specifically what the different ones are for, likely for different forms of drainage or open space. Sometimes they can be used for amenities, but these ones specifically, I'll let the applicant kind of walk you through.
My last question. Is there anything, do you think there's any need on Perkins Road to, at some point, with all these additional houses, have a turn lane? Especially going north?
Yeah, I can say that a traffic study wasn't required for this property since it didn't meet those thresholds in code, which is either 1,000 for the day or 100 trips for a peak hour. So with 66 lots being proposed, it didn't meet that threshold to see whether that turn lane would be required or not. So this time we haven't studied that.
What stipulates whether a traffic study is triggered? Is that in the land development code, or?
Yes, sir. In Chapter 23 of the Land Development Code, it sets those thresholds for when it's required. And those thresholds are either 1,000 trips per day or 1,000 expected trips per day or 100 per peak hour. And that's just, if you meet that threshold, you're automatically required to do one. Sometimes developments will do one if they don't meet that threshold, but they're close enough to think it's a good idea. This one with the lower lots, it wasn't required or heavily discussed.
And that's the land development code that will be under revision the next year?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I have my turn lane, I'm not 100% sure, but, sorry. I think the speed limit's 55, isn't it, along there? Once you get past Richmond?
I say yes with some confidence, but not 100% sure.
I think it is. I'm not sure either, but somebody's looking down at their phone, which, it doesn't ever happen really, but
Yeah.
you can come up on somebody pretty quick trying to
can.
turn into that neighborhood. I mean, it's already, there's already neighborhoods there, so it's not like it's a new problem, but just kind of increases it.
Yes, sir.
That's all.
Okay. All right, anybody else? Okay. Okay, so thank you, staff. We'd like to have applicant come forward and maybe shed a little more light on this.
Hello, Aaron Ferguson with Bancroft Design at 923 South Lowry. As staff discussed, this was an existing preliminary plat, and the proposed layout hasn't changed substantially. The streets are all in the same locations, and the 8th section lots are basically the same. It was the 9th section that a lot of the lots were increased in size. It's a heavily wooded area, and so it made sense to have larger lot sizes and also decrease the density on the overall project. As far as the outlots, 3 of the outlots are for the detention ponds. 1 is just a general utility easement, and the other 2 are just green space.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions for the applicant? I don't think we have any. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, we would open the public hearing and ask if there's anyone in the audience that would like to speak in favor of this item to please come forward. Seeing none, I'll ask if there's anyone in the audience that would like to speak in opposition to this item. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. And we'll ask staff to return to present findings and alternatives.
Yes, ma'am. So the findings are the proposed preliminary plat meets the subdivision and zoning requirements. The comprehensive plan recommends low-density residential uses at this location. The proposed density is in alignment with the RSS zoning requirements. The alternatives tonight are to approve, conditionally approve, table, or deny this request. Staff recommends alternative number 1, which is to accept findings and approve the proposed preliminary plat as presented.
Thank you. Any discussion, or perhaps someone's thinking of a motion?
I move that we accept findings and approve the plat as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We shall now vote. Motion passes 5-0. The next item on the agenda is to review the meeting summary of December 2nd. Has everyone had a chance to review the meeting summary? Any additions or corrections?
I move we accept the summary as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We shall now vote. Motion passes 5-0. Next item on the agenda is miscellaneous items from staff, planning commissioners, or the city attorney for discussion and possible action. The one item of note is that the next regular meeting of the planning commission will be January 6th. And the last item is adjournment. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We shall now vote. Motion passes 5-0. We now stand adjourned.